Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I swear I'm wearing a shirt, don't worry. And sorry about my hair, by the way. Oh my god, that's one of my insecurities coming out. Be strong. Okay, anyways, this is part 2 to the How Not to Hate School or How to Love School series that I did. I made the first one public either last week or the week before, and this is part 2, so it's gonna take off at tip number 3, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you do, join my family. I'd love to have you, and I look forward to creating more and more content for you. So we're gonna kick it off with tip number 3. If you haven't seen the first part, they are really helpful. It's a lot of valuable information. I'll leave the link for it somewhere. I think it's on this side. And then I'll leave the link for it down below as well. So check that one out to get a little bit of context and then start applying these tips right away. So with that being said, let's get right into it. And I hope that you can take some notes, get a little bit of inspiration, and really start to apply what I'm saying in this video as well as the first one into your life today. Number 3, find classes that you love or find a way to love the classes that you do. Now, the original quote of this is something along the lines of find work you love or find a way to love the work that you do. And this ties into the last tip of immersing yourself in a project. So obviously, depending on what grade you're in, depending on your major or just classes that you're taking in general, of course you don't get to pick what all of them are. But some of them, maybe it's an elective, maybe it's an additional class for general ed, whatever it is, some of them you can pick, depending on what sparks your interest. Those ones are a little bit easier to like because you already have preset that you want them. But as for the ones that are already determined for you, it's up to you to find a way to figure out how all of that is gonna bring you joy and what fun you can extract from that. If you already have a passion or something you want to, quote unquote, I guess, be when you grow up, or something that you wanna do and you know that, try to figure out how the class that you're taking right now relates to that and how it's really gonna benefit you in driving towards your dream and your passion and your purpose. If you can connect the two and not just see one class as being super random and irrelevant, then it's gonna really help you, especially if you are really driven by your love for something or whatever it is that you want to do. Try to find that connection. You can also do the last tip and being creative in the way that you take notes to enjoy your classes a little bit more. You can also make friends in your classes and speak to your teacher before, after, or during class to try and build that connection so that you feel a little bit happier and maybe a little bit more at peace when you're there. I can do a whole video on this if you want me to give you a list of ways that you can actually enjoy your classes if you want, but let me know if you would actually be interested in that by giving me a comment below and saying, that's what I want you to do, or give this video a like so I know that there would be an interest in that. And this next tip is gonna follow in the footsteps of these last two as well, and that is, while you're in class, ask questions. This is going to keep you engaged, and this is going to keep your mind working and thinking so that you don't have to go home at the end of the day, have all these questions pop up for you if you have homework to do, and then have no one to ask them. Sure, you can look up on the internet, but that also kind of tends to be pretty draining and not very fun when you don't even want to be doing homework anyways, and then you have to go researching yet another answer to a question that you don't know. No, stay engaged in the class and just ask questions. Even if it's not that big of a concern, ask something that's on your mind. Strike that conversation. Involve yourself in classroom discussion. I guarantee you this is going to change the way that you pay attention in class. Look for the questions to ask. The teachers will see that, respect it, and appreciate it. Don't be nervous because somebody else is probably thinking the same thing. And if you don't ask it and no one else asks it, you're all gonna fail your test. I'm just kidding. That was a little bit of over-exaggeration. That was a bad joke. But yeah, ask questions and challenge yourself to do that. If you're enjoying these tips so far, I would love it if you let me know down below which one you appreciated the most and some tips that you might have as well, along with, I was gonna say following me, subscribing to my channel because subscribing to my channel because I post weekly all about confidence and self-confidence and self-loves and tips and tricks to loving who you are and your body, your relationship with food, and just all kinds of stuff relating to confidence and confidence building, especially as you're a young adult and growing into adulthood. But these can really be applied to anybody. So if this sounds like you, I may have said this already, subscribe to my channel is what I'm saying. You know. The next tip that I have for you, and I don't remember what number we're on, is to schedule a regular homework or study session with your peers or your friends. Now, if you're just making friends and you don't really have any yet, this is a great opportunity to make them, because the one thing that you guys have in common, if you're not sure yet or not good at starting conversation, is that you're both in the same class, you both have the same assignments, and that can really open the field for more questions to present themselves if you guys have the opportunity to hang out outside of a classroom setting. So ask your peers or some friends that you already have if they want to set a regular schedule to study and do homework together. You can bounce ideas off of each other. You can continue to build your friendships and not seclude yourself doing your homework alone, unless that's your thing. And it's just a good opportunity to continue to community build and get some extra help along the way. Now, if you don't have any friends, or you are extremely introverted, or you don't feel confident or comfortable doing that, if you just don't want to do that or don't have any friends, here's what you're going to do. You're going to come up with a set schedule for yourself, and you're going to commit to that for yourself to get your homework done and your studies done. This can be whatever works for you, but make it reasonable and also make sure that you do it. That takes some self-discipline, and if you guys also want a video on self-discipline and how to make sure your priorities are in check for school or work or whatever, comment down below self-discipline, and I have some ideas for that I can share with you as well. But what I suggest for the people who would rather be alone when they do their studies and their work, or who work better that way, and this goes for anyone too, get yourself a calendar. Get yourself a calendar that's going to work really well for you, and you can see what it is that you're doing. Guys, if there's one thing that I wish I did when I was in high school, it was have one of these where you can write down your ideas and your thoughts and your activities, and it's not all in your head. You will have so much more free energy and space and mental capacity and energy if you have a calendar, okay? So you're going to mark down that time that you want to do it. And another thing that you can do if you're alone, maybe even if you're with a friend, but maybe at a house or something, is set the mood for yourself. Make it a very comforting environment for you to do work, that you feel excited to do it. Now, I'll show you what my desk looks like and how I prepare for a work day or evening. And it usually involves some sort of beverage, whether that's homemade hot cocoa or water. I'm not a huge fan of tea, but do you? If it's in the daytime, it's most definitely coffee. I light an incense or a candle. You can set some background study music. My favorite is a live stream music on YouTube, usually lo-fi hip hop, but you can find a ton of live streams just to play in the background, whether on your laptop or on your phone. Have some snacks, some cut up fruit, or maybe a piece of chocolate or whatever makes you happy next to you, and then really get into the zone. And then use tip number 2, I believe, of diving into that project, because that is something that has to be prioritized and has to be done anyways. So get over that hump of having to start and then immerse yourself in it. Set the scene, immerse yourself in it. 2 more tips for you guys today. The first one, which is also like number 5 or 6, I don't know. I get really into talking sometimes and I forget everything that I'm talking about. What did I say before? Make the most of your free time. If you need to sleep in, that's fine. But there are so many things that you can do to just grow and build and develop your confidence and do new things and try new things and hang out with your friends that you can do when you're not at school or when you don't have your extracurricular activities or sports or studies that would really benefit you in your routine to easing your stress, letting out your emotions in a creative or a positive way, and really setting the tone for the following week to come. Because school is stressful, and there's a lot of stressors that come with it, and if we don't have a way of expressing all of the built up maybe tension, or maybe you just had so much work this week and our mind is exhausted, do something that's gonna boost up your spirits a little bit, whether that's trying some new restaurants with your friends, setting regular dates with your friends, or with your family, or going out into nature, taking on a new hobby, starting a YouTube channel, creating a vision board. That can be a form of a project that you can do. Redecorating your space. Parents, if you can do some chores around the house for a little bit extra income so that you can save up for an event or activity or restaurant with your friends. If you work, save some of that money aside so that you can really get your spirits excited for a trip that you want to go on or something of the sorts. There's so many different things, and if you just focus on one of these things. So my camera is like overheating and I forgot what I was talking about, but I think you got the gist of it, and it stopped recording because my battery is also simultaneously about to die. I think it's the batteries. It's not even my fault anymore, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and share this last tip with you really quickly. Looking at my phone. Challenge yourself. This one I love. Let me tell you why. There's so many challenges that you can do or challenge yourself to do for a day or a week that are gonna keep your mind occupied with even another thing, whether that's a good deed or something good for your health. A gallon of water a day challenge. What is it called? The 3 hugs a day challenge. Have a whole day where you challenge yourself to compliment somebody. Have a day where you challenge yourself to do something for somebody else without expecting anything in return. Challenge yourself to read a chapter of your book. Little tiny challenges that will make you feel really accomplished by the time you finish them are an amazing way to boost up your spirits, build that confidence one tiny goal at a time, and have fun doing it. Get some friends to be vegan for a week with you challenge. Journaling for a week challenge. Spending the first hour or two after school for a whole week getting your homework done challenge. Getting 5,000 steps in for the day challenge. Guys, there are so many options that you can do, and this is such an amazing thing that I wish I had known. Everything that I'm sharing with you are things that I incorporate into my life now that I wish I had done before. And it makes me really sad that I didn't, but you guys are so lucky and fortunate to have so many opportunities and possibilities that many of us don't learn until later on in our life or until after school. And you guys are at such an advantage to creating so much happiness and light that you want to bring into your school and embody within yourself. And I hope that you take some of these tips into consideration, and I hope that you consider subscribing to this channel because there are so many more to come. Did you like what I did there? Shameless plug. But I also post so much of this on a couple different platforms. My Instagram at EdenGold_. I always talk all about these kinds of topics and self-love in general. I also just created a TikTok profile, which is at EdenGold_, where I'm going to share 15-second tips all about confidence building, and we're going to be our biggest warriors 15 seconds at a time. Other than that, that's all I have for you today, and that's it. Should I stop dancing? I don't think I should. Alright guys,